Welcome to the very first episode of the Hypernova Show. I'm your host, DJ Faith, and this podcast is more than just music, the culture, and the urban arts, but it's about the special people doing amazing things and about their lessons learned, the struggles, and their whole journey, and how they overcame adversity and how there's still hope within that. I wanted to do something like this for a very, very long time, and rather than spending the whole first episode talking about how it's going to be, let me just show y'all. So ya tu sabe, turn up the volume and let's go.
What's an opportunity if I can't fathom what it means? I ain't jumping for the clouds if heaven's just in between.
Culture and family, this is how we grow. Welcome to the Hypernova Show.
All right, y'all, today we got a special guest, man. And he's so special, I'm going to let him introduce himself. We have...
The dedication get different. Repetition with the mission got the gift, and if you need it, call me. It's the hope dealer, the self-talker, Sir Dominique Jordan, the prolific one. Grateful to be here, my brother. Thank you, man.
Glad to have you, brother, man.
Yeah, man.
Yes, sir, man. Yo, it's been a long time in the making, you know what I mean? I know we have busy schedules, but I'm glad you're here, man. Absolutely
Grateful.
sharing the space. So, yo, like, just tell people a little bit about yourself, man. Like, who are you? You know, where you from? You know, where you rep? You know what I'm saying?
For sure. I mean, if you don't know me, my name is Sir Dominique Jordan. Like I said, born and raised in Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
Let's go, Lang.
Yeah, I've been able to travel around the country through some of my creative endeavors. But yeah, I always got to represent my hometown, Lanc City, the Red Rose. And, you know, I try to put on for hip hop in the space, poetry in the space, and really get us, you know, a bigger representation outside of just the space.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
absolutely. What part of the city you from? What side?
I mean, that's the hard part, right? I would say I was born on the 6th Ward side, right? Not too far from McCaskey, but I lived all over the city. I lived in the 8th Ward. You know, a lot of my family grew up in the 7th Ward, so I just rap the whole city as a whole, you know. I was born into this place when it was still a town, before it was, you know, the Red Rose City and all these different, you know, influencers and actors and big time people coming here trying to invest into the space. My family's been here for quite some time, so definitely grateful to grow up in a place like this and that my kids get to grow up here too.
Facts, bro. Yeah, I'm the same way. Like, I lived everywhere in Lang, and I was actually born in St. Joseph Hospital. Remember that joint?
Hey, that's what's up. That's throwback. That's
not even there anymore. You know what I'm saying? Now
that's
it's an
throwback.
apartment complex, getting built. It's an apartment complex.
That's a fact.
But yeah, man, like, just the roots in Lancaster, to see where it was and what it is now, like, I don't know if people understand like how it was. I mean, if you're not from here, first of all, you say Lancaster, which is not the correct way to say it.
Come on.
Lancaster.
Lang kissed her. Think about a
Lancaster.
guy named Lang and he kissed her.
Yeah,
You feel me?
Real easy.
Lancaster.
Yeah, so that's step one, y'all. If you tell me you're from Lancaster, I know you're not from here.
That's a fact.
Two, it's like, if you're not from here also, you think, if I say I'm from Lancaster, you'd be like, oh, you're Amish. So I tell everybody I'm the first Puerto Rican black Amish they'll meet in their life.
That's
what I tell people all the
hilarious.
time. And they're like, oh, really? I'm like, no, not really. But
You know what's crazy that you even say that, right? Like, if you really born here in the city, at least in the time that I grew up, you know, I was born in the 90s, and like we didn't have a lot of interaction with the Amish. Like, even to be real with you, some people would think this is crazy, but like I feel like downtown didn't really cater to people of color until more recently. Within the last 10, 15 years, like growing up even as a young teen, like I came downtown more because I had some family in politics. My pops is in politics, so I was in that vibe. But before that, yeah, if you're born in the city, you don't really know anything outside of the city. You don't know what's really happening in the burbs. You don't know what's happening around them farms. Like, we got our own culture, and it's really a melting pot here of people from all different types of cities, you know? But yeah, you can't hate on the link. Yo, we got something to say. We got something to do.
my first time I saw Amish, no cap, is when they first built the Walmart on 30.
Wow.
That was the first time we're like,
oh, you really throw back if you remember when they first built
bro, I got lost here the first day.
I bet.
I got lost. My mom, we went there, they had they were doing balloons. They were blowing up balloons.
Wow.
And I was like, yo, I want a balloon. I want a balloon. She's like, go ahead, go get a balloon. So I went and got a balloon and I got lost. Bro, it freaked me out.
So you was one of them kids they had to call on the loudspeaker.
Yo, nah, I was like, mommy. You know what I mean?
Baby DJ Faith.
Yeah.
There's a baby DJ Faith up here in the front looking for his mom.
Yeah, I was scratching on the table. That's what I was doing. But
That's
yeah,
hilarious.
man. Like, but that was my first time like driving out and being like, who are those people? You know what I mean? Like a horse and buggy. Like I didn't see that. Like,
to be honest with you, until I played sports and like, you know, growing up in middle school, high school is really my first like exposure getting outside of Lancaster City and into the other pockets. Like I've been able to travel in other capacities in my life, but like to really understand what's out there, I didn't really even build relationships with people from other school districts and things until I started playing sports. And that wasn't ever really that positive.
Yeah.
It was always like very competitive and almost like toxic. Like I don't want to know what they got going on at Manheim Township or Penn Manor or any of the other places. All love now, y'all.
Yeah.
But
Peace,
you know what's funny, right? I was actually at a little spot a couple weeks ago, and I was talking to this dude, and I didn't know he graduated from McCaskey. We actually went to McCaskey around the same time too, and our perspective was very similar on this because you know when you go to McCaskey, you obviously are from the city, right?
Yeah.
And when you don't go to McCaskey, you don't represent the city or say,
Oh.
you'll say, I'm from Manheim Township or I'm from Conestoga Valley
Penn
or I'm
Manor.
from Penn Manor, right? But I feel like nowadays, like what is that age when you finally get to say, oh, I'm from Lancaster? Like where they're cool with it, where they claim it. Because now people claiming it.
Oh, everybody wants to claim it now.
Yeah, somebody tell me like from Lancaster, oh, what high school you went to? I went to Hempfield. Like, that's like the furthest burb that we got. You know what I mean? But that's a whole nother village out. You got Landisville is a different type of scene, and that might be more of the Amish, you know, stereotypes that people think about Lanc. But our urban culture here really is powerful and has so much to offer the rest of the world. So
and it's thriving, man. It's
a
really
fact.
Thriving. People are really growing. So we know you're a MC and a poet. Like, what's the origin of that? Like, how'd you hear about it? Who got you started? Like, you know what I mean?
I gotta honestly always give, you know, grace and gratefulness to my mother, man.
Okay.
Like she, you know, I'm the oldest of 7, right? And she's always been an educator since I've, you know, been alive to know, and she's always poured into me in that capacity. She was a young mom that always knew that I needed some type of mentorship, but I also needed a way to be able to express myself and the things I was going through. So writing down my feelings, writing stories down, writing my little raps, trying to be like the next Common Sense or Most Def. You know, those are the type of people that she put me on to. A lot of neo soul in my crib, you know. So I feel like naturally I was going to be in this space of thinking a little bit more consciously than my peers. But I will say, you know, I've had some of those run-ins where she'll find a notebook and I'll be talking about something I don't got no sense talking about. You know what I mean? I'm talking about like 4th, 5th grade. We'll be getting ready for a talent show and my boys is rapping about this. So I start rapping about that. And she read them joints. She's like, oh yeah, we're not doing this. Yeah, you're gonna have to switch it up. But even still, like when I would get in trouble per se for certain things, she would always like make me read books. You know what I'm saying? Like cut the TV off. You ain't going outside. You need to read 5 books before you can even come talk to me about what the next thing is. And I really appreciate that because that definitely helped me with my own, you know, journey with language and how to express myself and communicate some of my thoughts. So that definitely is where it started. But of course, being here in Lancaster, we've always had a thriving hip hop community, poetry community. I definitely feel like, you know, we've had a tons of people that have carried the legacy and built it up. Big shout out to GI, amazing poet. Big shout out to Vita Cologne, amazing poet. At least in the newer sense of like what poetry and spoken word looks like. I definitely take a lot of pride in being one of the vanguards to be able to open doors for other people to express themselves. But yeah, man, like I'm in this world dichotomy of like MC and poetry, where for me they've always been one and the same, right? I look at rap to poetry like rhythm and blues, you know, rhythm and poetry. It's the same type of concept, giving us the opportunity, almost like poetry in motion for MC. Unfortunately, that's not what we hear all the time nowadays and probably ever. There's always been a huge diverse group of MCs doing different things, but I feel like the power of the culture has been lost in a sense. And there's a lot of reasons for that, but we know.
Yeah, it's interesting to hear because I feel like nowadays we take like an art like poetry or MCing and we just focus on like the skill part of it. But there's an educational part. You know what I'm saying? Like the fact that your mom made you read books and the fact that she was educating you still shows that there has to be some type of intellect. You know what I mean? Surpass the talent, right? Because anybody can have talent with something, but where's your mind connected to the talent? You know what I mean? Like
it's funny, bro, because now I'm able to be the educator in a sense, right? Like I'm teaching a lot of different populations from elementary, middle, high school, college, even adults that want to learn more about some of these different avenues of expression in regards to specifically poetry, creative writing, and emceeing. And I'm a firm believer in the only way to become a better writer is to read. Like that's just the natural thing. You know what I mean? You can never be the next big pun if you don't have a vocabulary. You know?
No.
And even to that point, man, like it's funny, like somebody will tell me, I say a student will be like, yeah, you know, I'm from New York, or I'm Puerto Rican from New York. I'm like, yo, you ever heard of Big Pun? They're like, nah. I'm like, whoa, like it's such a cultural standpoint that I love to be able to tell people that, or tell a young person that, and then they go home and they're listening to Big Pun with their dad or mom. Because that's what I want my kids to do. I want my kids to come home and tell me something that they learned and we could go explore it together.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So
I mean, yeah, I think that's the beauty of it too, right? Like when you can learn something new, but also embrace it with somebody else. You know what I mean? Like, I think unity falls in all aspects of life. Like, if you do something by yourself, you will only get so far. If you learn by yourself, you only get so far. But it's when you start doing it with somebody else and bringing others that now the horizons open up and there's more like things that you learn and more things that you see, and like people give you different point of views. You know what I mean? Like sometimes I might not see a thing a certain way you see it, but you may bring it to my knowledge and I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Like I didn't think about that. You know what I'm saying? And it opens up, and I think that's important. And I think it's even more important when it's a parent and their child. You know what I mean?
That's
Like my kids right now, like my one son wants to DJ and my one son wants to break, and
that's
like
perfect.
Yeah, bro. I mean, they both dance. They both the B-boys, but the one wants to DJ more, like, and I'm like, all right, there's my successor. You know what I'm saying? And there's my other successor for dancing. But it's like I like to do things with them together. Like, yo, let's watch these battles together. Like, this is what this means, and I break it down for them, and I'm like, what do you think? And they express to me like, oh, this is cool, and I'm like, why do you think that's cool? Or like, did you know this came from this? Or like, yo, did you know DJing started in New York? And like, you know,
That's
just
fire.
breaking it down with them and telling the whole history, because they need to hear from somebody who like, one, lives it, but two, like is in that culture. You know what I'm saying? And it's their parent. You know what I mean? Like I didn't grow up with a dad. You know what I'm saying? So like not until later in my life, the guy who became a father figure to me was the one that taught me how to DJ. And like his impact with like sitting down with me and explaining stuff, like that was more powerful than me like being with like a random person. They'd be like, oh yeah, this is how you mix, or this is how you get better as a DJ. Like that's the difference, right? But them being able to sit down with me and like break it down, like and I had this connection with them, made it so much more rich. You know what I'm saying? Than just empty knowledge.
That's
I don't
real,
know if
bro.
that makes sense, but
No,
like,
that's real. That's real. I mean, at the end of the day, I feel like this culture of hip hop has so many like dichotomies and nooks and crannies to it that I love being able to just say hip hop because it encompasses all these different things. But we also got to remember that whether it's hip hop or spoken word, they all come from poverty-stricken, communities and trauma that have been able to matriculate in other places, telling stories. Like even you saying that, teaching your kids like what some of these techniques actually mean and where they came from and what somebody's trying to display or say in a sense or communicate when they're doing these moves. One of my good friends that we do a lot of mentorship work together, she said this quote to me one time that always stick with me is, many hands make light work. So if life is heavy for you, life is heavy for me, life is heavy for Rome. Shout out Rome in the back.
yo, Rome, producer Rome 1, yo, yes sir.
We lift it up together. If we all lift it up together, it's obvious that it's going to get lighter,
Yes.
And it's unfortunate in a lot of our communities that the only time like we get together, if we think about like families and stuff, is when major tragedies happen, where it's forced that we got to lift up the casket together instead of lifting up life, lifting up positivity, lifting up expression. You know what I'm saying? So I'm definitely blessed to be able to be in spaces like yourselves in a community here that embraces some of those concepts. I just feel like the only thing that we're truly missing is industry. And industry is in like the creators are leaving the forefront of making money off of this, and not just like in a capitalistic mindset, but in sense of controlling the narrative. Like we're blessed to be able to do things like apply for grants and build up a lot of our work in those ways. But there's other industries that we could take a lot of knowledge from, that we could learn from to learn how to do it better.
Yes.
So we don't fall into the same trap as a lot of other folks, you know. But we got to start somewhere. And I think that right now is a special place to be in Lancaster. So if you're watching this, you need somewhere to call home. Slide. Just look for the right people.
Absolutely.
Don't fall in the trap, man.
You know, Lancaster is big on the each one teach one. You know what I'm saying? Like
That's
we're
a
big
fact.
on that here. Like I feel like, especially now, this culture now that's like being raised up in Lancaster, it's real like sharing the talents and sharing the gifts. Like I feel like we were in an era where that wasn't being shared. You know what I mean? Like there was an era where like if you were a dope DJ, you weren't telling people how to become a dope DJ because you wanted to keep it for yourself. Like, you know, you're gatekeeping. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's still a thing in other cities, man, which is sad. It's real sad because how else is gonna grow if you're not giving the keys to somebody else?
You know, it's funny that you say that. I do agree in some capacity. I do think that there used to be an art to getting into some of these things, right? I look at it like, let's say if you wanted to, I've never been a part of one, but I've been around people and know the process of like, say if you want to join a fraternity, right? You don't just go up to the fraternity brother like, yo, I want to be a part of your fraternity. You go learn about that fraternity ahead of time. You come with the respect and the knowledge that I want to be here. It's like being a young boy that wants to play hoops with the old heads. Like, no, you need to stay here and watch us. Watch what's going on so you know what you could take advantage of, not just come out here and try to shoot the ball every time or be too timid to really hold it down. You know what I'm saying? And it be those ones. It be that little dude that been sitting out here for years just watching everybody putting up shots when y'all not on this side of the court that eventually he got 2 inches. Yeah. And now he's starting to move and maneuver, and now he's the one running the court in a couple. I think that, you know, back in the, you know, what's funny? Matter of fact, it made me think about this, right? I watch a lot of like, almost like Rap Genius type of stuff, but more like underground ones that like people that are on the rise, like on Instagram or YouTube, whatever, in the shorts, and they'll like be breaking down somebody's verse, right? And then, you know, people in the comments, you'd be like probably more than likely older folks are like, oh man, the verse can't be that hot if you gotta actually break it down. Like what happened to society where we couldn't just like love it for what it was? And I'm like, nah, but that's another art form.
Yes.
As an MC, that is the most like respect that you gonna break down my verse and like really like, yeah. And then who knows, you might have forgot one and I get to jump in there and say something, you know? But I do think that there is room for a little bit of both, right? Like not gatekeeping, but also like, because we haven't been exposed to this, a white picket fence was never supposed to keep people out. It was just supposed to show how well you take care of your lawn. Yeah. You know what I mean? Absolutely. Something to look up to. I see you you got your white picket fence up and I see your pool in the backyard. I'm like, oh, they got it going on over there. I need to learn how to do that, you know? And luckily we in a space now where more people are teaching folks. I just think that there got to be a way where creatives are not hustling each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course the price goes up. Even this, like, y'all got all these resources that y'all put into this place. Y'all have been grinding for years and doing stuff. And of course you deserve a certain thing to know your worth. But I also don't think that we should be like taxing each other crazy dollar amounts. I think that there's, you know, balance in you know, you scratch my back, I scratch yours. You know, like if I can drop a verse on something for you, maybe you could drop something for me. And we just kind of balance each other out like that. Like sometimes you gotta just pay the bag too. But I do think that right now, the industries have almost turned us on each other. Where I want the videographer to do this for me, but I can't pay his fee. But it's like, at the end of the day, what is the artist to do? Yeah. Other than pick up all the mediums and try to do it themselves. Yeah. And I think that's the piece where, again, not the gatekeeper thing, but you got to find a lane first before you could just do it all. Yeah. And right now, everybody's trying to do it all. Yeah. If we, you know, overcompensate for those things, we're never going to be able to be successful at the thing we fell in love with. Like, absolutely. I love seeing you kill it with the DJ stuff. You know what I mean? Like, but then when you jump off that joint, start spinning on your head, people ain't expect that. You know what I mean? Like, so there's room for all of it, man. Yeah. There's room for all of it.
Yeah, we do that. Shout out to Urban Soul. That's my crew, man. Urban Soul fam. But we do that as a crew. Like, if you're interested in, you know, first we say we're family. You know, we're Urban Soul family. And what we do is, if you're interested and you show interest, right? Like you come around a couple times, we start getting to know who you are. We have a stage we do a prospect stage. You become a prospect. And we ain't like a motorcycle joint where we make you like run and grab us drinks and stuff like that. But like, you know, you might set up the dance floor for us when we go do a show somewhere. You know what I mean? Like, But
ain't nothing wrong with going to the store. You can run to the store
I
and
mean,
go get us a Coca-Cola.
Listen, I'm trying to be nice on camera, bro.
Nah,
We might run to the store a couple times, you know what I'm saying?
I can dig that.
But like, you know, they have to show that they want to be part of this family. You know what I'm saying? Like, we always say, like, this family, the crew family, it's not a family that we're born into. It's a family we chose. You know what I'm saying? So like, we really harp on that. Like, if you want to be part of this family, like, show us. You know what I mean? Show commitment. And then once you show commitment, we'll give you all the keys to the kingdom. You know what I'm saying? We'll drop you here to here. Whatever we got to do to put you on, to lift you up, we're there for it. You know what I'm saying? And it's the same aspect what you're saying. Like, I think there's an aspect where people have to show that commitment. You know what I mean? Because again, people are turned on for the flashiness. You know what I mean? Like, they might see you do a gig and be like, oh, like, I want to be on stage. You know what I'm saying? But then when they start spending time with you, like, they see all the hard work you got to do behind the scenes.
It's a process.
They might be like, oh, like, I'm not about that. I just want to be on stage. You know what I mean? It's like, all right, well, then you're not about it. You know what I mean? So I think there's a aspect where people have to show heart. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People have to show commitment. People have to show determination. People have to show, like, the love and the passion for it. And then you can do that. But I'm talking about, too, like, then you have the opposite where people show interest, show commitment, and the person's like, nah, like, I ain't rock, like, I ain't want, like, this is mine. That's what I mean by gatekeeping. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I think there's very little of that around here. You don't see that much around here, but it still exists.
It's all like, perspective. Yeah, you know what I mean?
It still exists. There's still aspects of it where I personally myself I've seen it. You know what I mean? And I think that aspect too of like people like charging way a lot for services, and it's like, yo, like, I'm gonna hook you up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna hook you up. Like, that's how we're gonna get on. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I don't hire you for your event and you don't hire me, one, you're not gonna have content as a person to do whatever, and then I'm not gonna have this. So let's hook each other up. Like, let's see each other both rise up to the occasion. I mean, like, I think
we all can win. We all can win, bro.
Right.
We all
We're
can
a team,
win.
man. At the end of the day,
you see it. There's this meme that's been going around a lot, right? It's like the gatekeepers ain't know we were the kids hopping fences, right?
Like
and
that.
I love hearing that because
that.
I'm like, ooh, you know, like that's one of them ones right there.
Yes.
Like we already know what to do when somebody's trying to block us out, and or you find your own lane. You know, you find your own lane and build out. One thing that I've definitely been inspired. You mentioned Urban Soul Fam. Shout out to you guys. You know, and one thing I've been inspired by how you guys have married the art of the DJ, breaking, and graffitiing, which already was obviously is a thing. It's the three of the foundational elements, right? But to see it in modern day and be utilized in a way that haven't been privy to is really, really special to see, you know, and motivating. And anytime I'm with like, you know, creatives and having some discussion, I always use you guys as a muse to be able to explain to them what I hope to see between the MC and the producer, you know? And big shout out to my guy, Jason 83, my man Swamp Rat, Rock 10 next door, a bunch of, and there's so many more, but a bunch of dope, you know, producers and engineers that care about the art form, care about the artists themselves, that I've been, you know, blessed to be able to partner with and create projects, you know, that are like, I feel like are some of the best work I've ever done. And a lot of that is because of the intentionality. It's because of me sitting down with a producer, them picking my brain, and us having that, you know, transactional relationship of energy, not necessarily just paying for the product. Like my man Jason's the first dude that ever came to me like, yo, look, I want to work with you, but I don't want you to pay for the time. I just want you to commit to making this project with me first. Like, I'll make all the beats, you write all the verses. And usually when I go to a studio, because I'm paying for the time, I usually come prepared with all the verses that I can, or, you know, just be in that mindset of like, how do I keep going? If I bring a homie with me, bro, you only hear the rap, bro. So while I'm recording, you writing. When you in there recording, I'm writing. Like, that's just how we do it. But with this process, it's a little different because we might sit down, listen to one of his vinyl records, listen to a tape or something, get some inspiration, show him what I'm into right now, and then we go into a direction. And typically, whatever we were inspired by the end of our creation, it doesn't sound anything like what we were inspired by. But that's what we want.
Man. That's beautiful.
You know, that's what we want. We want to be able to just build that culture out. And since I said that, I don't know when this is exactly dropping, but I do want to put this out there. I mentioned Jason 83. He has a indie tape label called Very Good Tapes.
Okay.
And we put out a project together on cassette. It's only $20. Holla at your boy. I got him on deck.
Come on, y'all.
me and Jason are on one side. The other side are Swamp and Thundercat.
Hold on.
Oh, yeah.
Sit right here. Yo, Rome, you got me right here on the camera? Right here, bam. One side.
Come on now.
Here's the other side right here.
Come on now. We in there, y'all. We in there.
Sir, we got it, man.
So,
we repping.
All that to say, you know, we've been trying to build more of this stuff up. So I got a project that I'm slowly putting out with Swamp Rat. But in the next 3 weeks, we're going to be having these cypher events for MCs and producers to come together to do something dope. We've had over like 40 producers add to the sample pack. The homie that was just here, DJ Vinny, he's a part of that project
Image,
as well.
y'all.
Big shout out to DJ Image. And so yeah, every Sunday we're gonna have a 2-hour event where MCs come, producers plug and play. Some of them are gonna be on the MPC, some of them are gonna be on the 404, some will just plug up their stuff.
In what city?
Yo, in Lancaster
Is
City,
what
man.
city,
Hip hop
oh my
in Lancaster
goodness.
City. Every one of the events, there's 3 of them, 3 Sundays in a row. There'll be at different businesses around the city. Even the fact that businesses are opening their doors to allow us to bring hip hop into the space. And half of that battle, and I'm gonna just call it what it is just being, you know, honest about who you are as a person before you are as an artist.
Yeah.
What type of professional are you? You know, and then what type of person? What are your morals like? And then what type of artist are you?
Yeah.
If by the time I listen to your music, the rest of those things are null and void, then I really probably don't want to work with them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to work with people that I feel aligned with. I don't want to like censor people or police people. I just know what my lane is. And I'm not the most squeaky clean, perfect person in the world either. But I put that in my music and I talk about that. So I feel like everything that I say, I stand on it intentionally because I know that my blessings are going to continue to come that way. My energy is going to rub off on other people. And hopefully I'll inspire other young creators to be able to carry the torch to that industry I was talking about with Lancaster. I may never be the one to be able to see what that looks like, you know?
That's right.
But I will be jamming at the Trust.
Yo.
So I mean, we gotta start building it up now, you know, and showing people what hip hop is, you know, capable of. So I'm glad to be able to align with you guys and figure out what that looks like for all of us in the long run.
Yeah, and hip hop's so multifaceted. You know what I mean? Like it's not just one lane, man. People think hip hop and they just think music. There's music, there's dance, there's art, there's fashion. You know what I mean? Like there's so many different.
And now even with this content stuff, you know what I mean? This is hip hop. Yeah, all of it.
Bro, and it's like hip hop was, like you said earlier, man, it's like created for self-expression in times of hard times and good times and all types of times, you know what I mean? Hip hop came from that, from the essence of how can we express ourselves, you know what I mean? Like how can we show ourselves to the world and what we're going through, and people gravitate to it. You know what I mean? We just hit the 50-year mark, you know what I'm saying? Like
crazy.
Hip hop, like it's just crazy to see the evolution of it too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the progression.
I might even argue the most progressive and fastest growing culture of music specific. I think that, I mean, if you had to just look at like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame or something like that, how many hip hop artists made it in there in the time period versus some of the other, you know what I mean, like genres of music, like it's grown so fast.
Run
and it got
DMC,
so
one of the first to get up on that rock.
Come on,
drum,
incredible, man.
Yeah.
It's incredible to see, man. And we, again, like we got so much further to go. I just think being rooted in those elements are so important, but so many people are disconnected from them. So figuring out a way to make that education piece tasteful, I think is super pivotal for us all to be successful in the long run. Like you don't have to have like, you know, you could be a street dude, you could be a street rapper, but still be in tune with the elements, because we've always had that. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what that looks like for all of us in the long run, bro.
Yo, you said a key word, right? You said rooted.
Come on now.
We had, shout out to Brian Cintron.
Pieces, what's up, man?
Yo, yes sir, my brother.
I knew Pieces since elementary school, man. That's
bro.
my dog, man.
You knew when he was literally in Pieces.
Yeah, we were all of us just running around,
facts,
man.
yo, man. So
I probably was spinning on my head back then, man.
Let's go. So Pieces had this great idea, man, and we're able to collaborate as a crew, and especially me and Rome really like help shape this thing too, man. But Brian had this idea of throwing this event called Rooted, and you said, obviously you went to the event, man, and I just kind of want to hear your thoughts. And you shared something with me earlier off camera that led into this mixtape that you came out with. So like, just what'd you think about Rooted, and then how did it lead to like the one project you're doing?
All right, There's layers to this,
Okay,
right? Layers to this, right?
There's layers.
One thing I do want to also shout out Rich House.
Yes,
Because I love
absolutely.
like the underground venues and the
Yes.
things that we've been able to utilize to be able to create some of this stuff. And of course, like you guys, y'all put an incredible event together that brought people from all different backgrounds into that space, from different regions of the world into that space. I got to bring my lady as well. Oh my gosh, I'm having a brain fart about her name. Not my lady's name, but big shout out to not my lady. Shout out to my lady, but big shout out to Leonette for them empanadillas. Them joints was banging.
She's gonna be, if y'all not, I don't know when this episode's gonna come out, but if it's before Nova Nights, she's gonna be throwing down at Nova Nights too. So,
we're gonna have to get active, bro.
Because y'all gotta.
She make them joints so good that they remind me of when we used to call them pastelillos. You know what I mean?
Snap.
Pastelillos, like you go to the corner store, like her joints is really banging.
You
bro.
bite into one of their empanadas, bro, and you take out a dominoes and you start playing dominoes real quick. Like you just like
that's hilarious.
Like Kabigoo.
Yo, that's hilarious. But yeah, that event all in all was incredible. I mean, my lady even said that, you know, it was one of her favorite events that we've been to since she's moved to Lanc. And I think that was special. I'm gonna shout him out again. You know, big shout out Rome, because like Rome is like the most, if you know Rome, you know, but like Rome is like the most humble dude, right? So like I see him kind of like with his game face on, but I'm like, everything cool here, because I could feel like there's some tension in the room, but it's like, still love though, but there was some tension in the room, and I'm like, okay. So Rome comes up and he's like, every once in a while he'll sneak up and say something to me and my lady, like, yeah, by the way, those guys over there, they from here, and they got some smoke with those guys over there. Like it's love, but it's competitive. Like this is real, right? He's like, yeah, it's about to be the semifinals now. I'm like, okay, well, who's next? He's like, you about to see. All right. And this man to jump out there and just get active. I'm like, oh, all right, bro, that's what we doing?
That's right. Rome was on a different level, man.
That was crazy to see, man. It was so crazy to see. I got to meet a lot of people, see a bunch of people that I didn't even know got down like that. And to your point, you know, a few days after that event, I was working on this mixtape with my man Swamp Rat that'll be coming out pretty soon. It's called This Too Shall Pass. And with that project in particular, we wanted to be intentional about some of the things we're inspired by that's happening around us. And as I was at that event, I'm listening to all these songs, and I'm like, man, like I would love if they was dancing to one of my joints. So I need to get into that pocket and find some sounds and beats that speak to those same elements. So I'm glad that we got this track that's coming out soon. It's called Formless. If you want to hear it, you got to be on the lookout. Follow me now, you know? But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing, you know, what you guys come up with for that track too. I've been really, you know, trying to sit back and meditate on like how other people express themselves and what they're saying through their expression, whether that's dance, whether that's visual art, whether that's MCing, producing, instrumentalist, whatever it is. And I'm really just grateful to see the process, you know? So I'm looking forward to just collaborating with other people, man. Like not even necessarily just in the hip hop space. I would love to collaborate with people in other genres of music, other genres of dance, other genres of life in general, because that's what's been able to provide me the blessings and being able to feed my kids. Like I'm a full-time artist, man. Like every day I wake up, eat, breathe, poop this. You feel me? Like, and it ain't always great. That's why you gotta poop it sometimes. You just gotta deal with it.
Absolutely. You need that cleanser, hip hop cleanser, Pepto-Bismol. You know what I'm saying?
Hey man, that you on to something a little bit, man. You on to something with that. I might have to pull up to one of y'all sessions to get a little class. You know what I'm saying? Go. I don't know if I got it. I got like jog or something. Y'all look like y'all be going hard, yo.
Nah, I'm big. I'm a big bull, man. I still get down. So
I could dig it.
You're not nowhere near me, so you good.
Yeah, all right, say less, man.
I'm old.
I don't even want to guess, man. I don't want to guess.
Yeah, don't hurt my feelings. I'm 35.
Okay, bro, I'm 32. Yeah. Man, we in the same vein, bro. We in the same vein, bro.
Come at us, dog. Come at us.
You know what's funny? I was talking to my boy about this earlier too. Like, in our minds, because we've probably been doing this for almost our whole life. Yeah. For one, I want to put this out there to all the young people too that may watch this. You are an adult longer than you are as a kid. Most of us. Ooh. If you live a long life, you're an adult a lot longer than you are as a kid. So enjoy your youth. I felt like I was so rushed to like be an adult quick. And some of that was my fault too, you know? Yeah. But being in the hip hop space specifically, I feel like we think 30 range is old when like hip hop is 50. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like we're in the middle. Yeah. Like we're in the middle. We almost have a deeper like influence or like responsibility to carry it forward for it to become something that we want. Because I feel like, no shade, but like the generation maybe before us probably didn't do the greatest job at passing down some of that information because of all the gimmicky stuff, you know? And I hope that people in our generation can come together and be able to provide whatever we can to be able to pour into the next ones, you know? Each one teach one. That mentorship piece is essential to hip hop's, you know, inception and to its future, you know? So let's just keep on using it as a tool to be able to say what we got to say. And then eventually, like, make mad bread and travel the world. Like, I'm trying to be on the Nile next time, man.
Trying
like,
to go Egypt with us, bro?
I'm saying, what's up, man?
Yeah, listen,
yo,
bro,
that'll be, bro. Even you just saying it that casual was like, yeah, like, yo, what's up? Yeah,
bro,
yeah.
Listen, like, I think, and not to, you know, I was blessed to go on this trip. You know what I'm saying? But like, I feel like a lot of people always talk about their dreams and don't do things to make them happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like everybody's a good planner. Like, oh man, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this. But it's like, all right, like, what's the next step? You know what I'm saying? And I feel like there's so many people that if they just go out and do it, like, bro, if you fail, it's okay. Listen to me, y'all. It's okay to fail. It's all right.
That's real.
It only makes you better. You know what I mean? It makes you hungrier. It makes you strive harder. So like, go after it. Like, just what's gonna hurt? You know what I mean? Like, try to do something new. Try to get out there. Try to put yourself out there. If it doesn't work, hey, on to the next one. You know what I mean? You keep going, but those opens doors. You know what I mean? And I'm fortunate enough and I'm blessed enough to like go after it. And like, yo, shout out again, bro. Rome's getting all the credit today, bro. Like, you know,
shout out to Rome, yo.
Shout out to Rome. But Rome's somebody that's we always, you know, we've been just like my right hand man, bro. Like, him in pieces. I got two right hands because I can't say one's the left. You know what I'm saying?
Dang, that's word.
We're just always grinding. But like, Rome really put the encouragement, like, yo, like, just let's go for it. Like, you know what I mean? Let's not sit around.
Can I throw this at you just because? And I didn't mean to cut you off, but
you're good.
For what it's worth, like, even though after you reach a certain age, we're kind of all in the same like threshold, right? Yeah. But he is a couple years younger than us, right? And I feel like youth is supposed to keep us motivated and inspired. Yeah. If you are not in tune with the generation before you or even before that, it's going to be hard for you to stay in the know of like what's going on and to keep you going, right? It's okay to fail, but it's not okay to quit. Exactly. You know, and if you don't have young people around you, like we got kids too. Yeah. So in that regard, like I don't want my kids to ever look at me as a quitter, but I also don't want them to suffer off the sake of me chasing a dream that I'm not taking serious. If I treat it like a hobby, I'm gonna get hobby results. You know what I mean? So keeping people around you like is so pivotal to the motion. Like it's crazy, man. I don't know how much like back and forth me and Rome have been in the text, you know, for bro, honestly, it might even be over a year. I ain't even gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? It might be over a year. Be like, yo, we gotta get up, we gotta get up, we gotta get up. Me and you probably have seen each other before me and him was supposed to get up. You know what I mean? Like, you know, so all that to say, keeping your circle tight, you know what I mean? And what do they say? The 5 people you spend the most time around become who you are. You know what I mean? So you got to keep good people in your circle, you know, and spirits jump, blessings and negative ones. You dig me? So I'm trying to be a positive influence on not just the people around me, my community, my kids, on myself, bro. You know what I mean? Like,
absolutely, man. Like, I think it's easy to fall in that slump of like, you know what I mean? Like, or it's easy to get complacent. Like you get some success and you're like, oh, like
I'm chilling.
I'm chilling. I made it. Like I worked hard for what I got. It's like, yo, nah, like what's next? Like there's always a what's next. You know what I mean? If you look at like people who've made it, like they don't stop. Like
Never.
They're always continuing to the next venture. What can they get better at? How else can they make money? How else can they get, you know, more successful? And it's like we need that same mindset. And
it's a lifestyle, man.
Yeah,
it's a lifestyle.
It really is, man. Like you can't. You said it perfectly, like the hobby results. You know what I'm saying? Like if you treat it as a hobby, if I treated DJing as a hobby, I would still probably be doing like little birthday parties and like that's it. Like, you know what I mean? And maybe doing it every once in a while. But like I fully committed to it, you know what I mean? For 25 years, like nonstop.
Beautiful, bro.
Like and I'm sure you did the same thing with your craft. And it's just like I encourage everybody to keep pushing. Even when it gets hard, even when you feel like no doors are opening, you know what I'm saying? Like and you might feel stuck in one place. Eventually you will get unstuck and you will start. You will go from being stuck to sprinting.
I would even add in, you know, at least in my experience, go where there's nobody else at. Right? Like a lot of times we like obviously competition is a huge part of hip hop. And I think it's a pivotal part of hip hop. But I also feel like going towards a thing where there's no other other person that's in your lane is so important for growth. You feel me? Like, you know, I've been able to like find a lot of success and solace and working in some of the institutions in Lancaster City, Lancaster County, even afar, because I was willing to do something that other people I know wouldn't have been ready, maybe not mature enough, maybe not been able to see the vision, you know, but like it's also allowed me to get other creatives paid, you know. One project in particular that I'm a part of, big shout out to the city of Lancaster and River Connections. Like they're really big on the health of the Conestoga River, right? And telling the story of what the Conestoga River is, how pivotal it is to our ecosystem, all that different types of stuff. I keep it a stack with you. When I was a young boy, I was in like the gifted and talented like kind of cohort, like the not honors kids, but like, you know, in elementary school, they try to invest a lot of these programs into us, and most of them were science based. Yeah. And back then, bro, if you a city kid, bro, that's the last thing I wanted to do. I can't speak to everybody else, but bro, I'm not trying to be out the county park all high out here working with bugs and like, you know what I'm saying, bird species and plants. That just wasn't my thing back then. And even like growing up, I kind of always avoided some of those things, right? But I remember getting offered this opportunity to write a poem about the Conestoga River. Not only were they gonna pay me to perform this at an event, but they also paid me to write it. That was my first ever commissioned poem. I did it, and when they first asked me, they're like, yeah, they sent me this Langston Hughes poem, and it's Langston Hughes, but it's also like, it's not the type of lane or poetry that I'm in right now, but I'm very intrigued to see what I can do. But I'm like, what do y'all want to know about the river? Like, I don't have a relationship with the river. They're like, write that. Like, you sure? All right, cool. My first bar was like, I never built a relationship with the river because that intimate relationship must have skipped my generation. Or I never learned to skip a rock because the intimate relationship with the river skipped my generation. Ooh. So that whole idea of like not really being outside or really, I mean, be honest, I didn't meet my dad till I was maybe like 9 or 10. So I didn't have that outside, throw the ball with him, get out in nature. Yeah, I never really got a lot of those opportunities. Like I had some uncles and some mentors, but it just never really stuck that much until I got older. And now I do know how to skip a rock. Now they even, because of that poem, for one, they commissioned me to find more poets to be able to write. So there was maybe like 8 or 9 other poets that wrote poems that got paid to do that. But then on top of that, they did an event recently, I think it was last summer, where they had somebody like a professional rock skipper come out and teach people how to skip rocks, and he was official with it. Yo, I know so much so he got me a rock. Rock skippers? Yeah. Bro, it's a wrap. Professional, they got professional everything, bro. They got professional everything. They got professional rock skippers. Right, yo, bro, he's like a champion at this. Like he's like, and the cool part is you see him going crazy, but he got his kids with him. And his kids, nice just like you know, nice with it. Are your kids nice? Yeah, bro. Of course, my kids. That's nice, my point. You feel me? If you think about it, he already got somebody watching him, and they're creating more techniques that ain't exist before. He be throwing one rock, and the rock skips off. Win. Bro, they was going crazy, bro. They were going crazy, bro. So. Rome, you got new hobby. Rome, pick up on professional rock skipping, dog. Yo, you got this, dog. Nah, Rome be too nice. I can imagine he'd probably be OD with it. You know what I'm saying? Standing upside down on his head, spinning, swing. While you doing graffiti at the same time, he's just like spraying and throwing rocks. That'd be crazy, man. That'd be crazy. But yeah, all that to say though, you know, there's a huge opportunity industry here. Anytime you hear me say something as well, I hope that you learn something. And I do want to say this, if you didn't know, the Conestoga River is Pennsylvania's River of the Year. Because of a lot of that work. That's a beautiful thing. Lancaster City is also the street piano capital of the world. Yes, it is. That's a beautiful thing that I feel like a lot of people don't know. And just to that point, big shout out to Music for Everyone. My first opportunities to be able to like do visual art was painting some of those pianos. Nice. And every year I paint a piano for them. This year in particular, my piano's at Chestnut Street and Prince Street, that little intersection, that art park. And they put like these QR codes on the side this year to talk about the sponsor, also talk about who painted it. And what I try to do is add a little caveat to it. So I put an unreleased song. So the only way you can hear the song, if y'all like it, you gotta come to the piano. Quizzing people like, yo, what was the song? Yeah, that'd be fire. That'd be fire. But yeah, tap in, yo. Tap in. I think that'd be a beautiful thing to just see people step into that space. There was also one other shameless plug I was gonna say. Oh yeah, I'm also the Central Pennsylvania Hip Hop Artist of the Year right now. Okay, I haven't really said that on any podcast. You know what I mean? Something like, man. And half of that battle, bro, is just staying connected to the people. Okay. You know what I mean? Like, if you stay connected to the people, they're gonna rock with you one way or another. They don't gotta love every song. But I think the funniest part, and I've actually found a lot of like just love and happiness for the process, is like I could be with somebody all the time or see them in passing, and they might have no idea that I'm a hip hop artist because I don't lead with that. I be thinking like maybe I should change that. Maybe I should lead with it, you know? But when somebody actually hears a record and they're like, yo, I didn't know you was that nice. I'm like, that's what's up. Shout out to God, yo. That's what's up.
Credit right there,
You know what I mean?
Yo, so y'all heard it first. Sir Dominique said he gonna buy us a brand new studio when he makes it. You know what I'm saying? Y'all heard it first.
This is what you did here. When I make it, they make it. So we all gonna be up and we gonna be able to do that easily.
Right.
But the only way is if you buy more mixtapes. So buy a mixtape
And come to the event August 22nd.
That's a fact. Get a VIP ticket so you can hang out with us on stage.
Yo,
Come on, man.
please.
More than that,
Let's
bro.
go,
More than
let's
that,
go.
bro.
Yo, so what advice would you give to up and comer, man? Somebody who really wants to get into like MCing, get into poetry, or even just get into hip hop in general. Like, what advice would you give them?
I say at least for the writers out there, whether you're a songwriter, hip hop, MC, or a poet, half of the battle is reading, right? But also anytime I'm teaching a class in regards to like writing specific, I always lean into the emotional appeal, right? Be a human being first. Like if it feels like something, then you're doing something correct. Obviously there's forms and specific rules, if you want to say the styles, but sometimes like I've been able to create, you know, some of my own forms of poetry in a sense. And when I teach them, everybody always takes it a different way. And that's what we want, right? And also the idea of like hip hop was birthed off of, you know, empowering what has come before, like the sample ideal, right? Like it's a bunch of paying homage to the things that came before us. If you're not willing to do that, you might want to find a different lane, but you also got to pay homage to where you got that stuff from. You know, one of my good mentors from back in the day, big shout out to TJ Griffin. He used to say this to me all the time, right?
We're going to have TJ on the podcast soon, so yeah,
you got
shout out
to.
TJ, man.
Big shout out to TJ. He used to say this
Absolutely.
all the time, right? It's nothing wrong with being a copycat as long as you copying the right cat.
Yeah, that's right.
But you got to pay homage. You got to like, as long as you say, hey, this is where I got this from, or this is the vibes, like pay homage. That's what you want to do because that's what's going to get you more respect in the long run from your peers and from the ones that came before you.
Yeah, man, that's a good advice, man. I think it's important to remember. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's easy to forget. It's always easy to forget, like, you know what I mean? Because you want to get over to the next thing. But I think it's important to remember where you came from, where the craft came from, because it will only add to your palette. You know what I'm saying? Like it's kind of like you're trying to paint a picture, and you only have, you know, yellow and green. You know what I'm saying? Or yellow and red. It's like, but you're like, I need more colors. Yo, if you remember that if you mix yellow and red, you know what I'm saying, you get orange. You know what I'm saying?
That was deep, boy.
So it's like you need to remember where things come from because it only adds to the flavor what's coming up. You know what I'm saying? So I think, bro, that's great advice.
So I got a question for you, good brother.
Okay.
It's gonna be a hard one. If you had to introduce a person to hip hop that's never listened to hip hop before, what album would you get them to listen to from start to finish? From start to finish, one album that you could listen to.
One album.
Yeah, one.
Yo, producer Rome, you got me? All right, yo. One album to introduce somebody to hip hop. I gotta be this one right here, man. It's right here to my side too. This right here. This
Incredible.
right here. This album, man. The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, man. Like, you're not only getting soul, you're not only getting dope lyrics. I mean, she's one of the top lyricists, man. I don't care what anybody says. But the storytelling, the feeling behind the album, I feel like it's a whole encompassing of like just hip hop in general, man.
The skits.
Yeah, bro. Everything.
The vocals?
Like,
Come on.
top notch, man.
Yeah,
Like,
she's different.
listen, like that album right there is, I don't know, it's Rome One's favorite album too. Like that album right there is just, it's one of the untouchable albums. You know what I mean? Like if you want the pure essence of hip hop, like everything, because hip hop's not just rap. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I would go with it. Because obviously there's rap albums that I could be like, you know, I can tell you about, but like pure essence, what I would tell people first introduction, probably that Lauryn Hill, man.
That's beautiful, man. That makes me happy, man.
That was a good question, man.
Yo, keep it.
Yeah,
Use that
don't
for
be
your
trying to
guests.
stump me on my own show, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Man, use it for the guests, man. I think I would love to hear more people talk about that. You know, love.
No, whoever's on the show next is in trouble.
That's tough. That's tough.
Yo, how can people find you, bro?
Honestly, the easiest way I'd say is Instagram at Sir Dominique Jordan, like the night. And you know, I mean, shoot, if you want to get real technical, Bandcamp, even wherever you can find the music.
We can watch that music at that EP coming.
Yeah, I mean, you could cop it on Bandcamp when it comes out, or on Even, or you could grab a mixtape, a physical tape. But I say the best way to find me is come to my city. You know, come to my city, find me here. Find me online to book me to come to your city. I would love to be able to just be in more spaces to build community up. I don't care if it's a wedding, birthday party, graduation party, classroom setting, workshop, whatever it might be. I feel like I got something it's an a la carte menu. I got something for everybody. So I'm just trying to inspire the masses and be as prolific as I can, brother.
Yo, I appreciate you, dog. Thank you for coming, man. This is a long time in the making, man.
Facts.
Yo, y'all heard it first, man. Appreciate you for tuning in. Hasta la próxima, familia. Nos vemos. Peace.
Hasta luego. Hey, I don't know what to say.
Hey, yo, keep it
It's
wrong.
to be, it's up to me. Can't be waiting for no blessing I ain't ready to receive. Inspiration and trauma must align for the dream to manifest. But what is luck without seeing to believe? What's an opportunity if I can't fathom what it means? I ain't jumping for the clouds if heaven's just in between. Fighting battles, I admit, but they don't seem so extreme when I'm just waiting for my chance to believe in who? Me.
From the block to the world, we let the speaker blow. De la calle hasta el mundo, así se siente el flow. One culture, one family, this is how we grow. Welcome to the Hypernova Show.